my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, I'm going to guide you through creating a little tangle that I pronounce XAC, but it might be Zach, I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a beautiful little tangle. I'm using my Micron PN plastic nib pen, a graphite pencil for shading, and a blending tool called a tortillion. I'm also using a 2" by 2" tile called the Bijou tile. All of these are available on Zentangle.com. All right, we're going to flip this over. Got my fancy nails on today. I hope they're not too distracting. All right, we're going to start by making a little dot in the center of our space. Then I'm going to go out to the right and I'm going to put a dot probably about a pencil width away from the edge. And I'm going to do the same thing down this way, and this way, and up here. We did it in pencil, so if you need to adjust, go ahead. And then we're going to switch over to our pen. Okay, for this one, we're just going to make some curve shapes to begin with. So I'm going to connect these dots, the middle dot to that outside dot, by making kind of a letter C and then a backwards letter C. And I want these to be about the same size, so if my line is a little too far away, or my dot is too far away, now's the time to adjust. This one looks a little bit high for me, so I'm probably going to go about there. And there we go. Just by making that C shape, we've got a cute little tangle started. Now comes the fun part. Okay, I'm going to take this curve and I'm going to imagine it coming up and extending out just a little bit. Then from that point, I'm going to come down and go right back into the middle. Then I'm going to take this curve out a little bit more. Curve down to the middle. And I'm going to do it one more time. Out and curve down. Now I'm going to turn my tile, which is the nice thing about using a small space, so that you can turn it as you go. I'm going to extend this curve up a little bit, that same direction. Come down. 3 times. Turn my tile. Take that left side curve and go up just a little bit more. And curve down. If yours can only go 2 times, or if you want to make yours go 4 or 5, that's okay. All of these tangles that are created by Zentangle or created by other artists are just meant to be a starting point. Do whatever you want to make it your own. I'm on this last little petal shape or seed shape. There we go. I love it. Okay, if you have those done, we're going to add another layer of these. So now I'm going to go out to diagonal, and I'm not going to go out too far, so maybe about here. I'm going to imagine that I've got room for those extended little petals again. Okay, now I can draw those in. So I'm just kind of hugging this line over here and going up. These are probably going to be a little bit smaller than the first ones. And that's okay. You're tucking them right in there. That one didn't land exactly where I wanted it, and that's okay. All right, once we have those new shapes in, we're going to do the same thing. Curve up that left-hand side and go down. If you have room to do 3 again, go ahead and do 3. If you don't, that's okay. If you look online, there's some really pretty variations of this tangle. We're kind of imagining that same seed shape when we're done. So this curve is just meant to continue on in kind of a nice smooth line. Almost ran out of room there, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to go back to those first 4 little petals that I made, and I'm going to put a curve in with a dot on top, and then a smaller curve with a dot. And I have these curving to the left. So I've got one tall one and a small one. A tall one and a small one. And then in those second layer, I'm just going to put a straight dot, or a straight line with a dot on the end. Each of these petals could be filled with more lines and more beautiful tangles, but I'm just doing that. All right, so that is the tile. That is the tangle, XAC or ZAC. And now we're just going to enhance it a little bit, kind of round it out, add some more dimension to it. But that is the essence of the tangle. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some flux. Flux is these rounded teardrop shapes with a line and a dot. And I can add as many or as few as I want. So I'm just going to pick a couple spots and add this rounded teardrop shape. See how that kind of fills it out? One thing about tangling is you don't need a plan. You just start adding things that you like until it looks finished. Add another one here. And then in a few spots, I'm going to add orbs, which is just a circle with a little reflection on it. And I can add those with the flux or by themselves. And just to kind of finish this off, I'm going to add an aura, which is just a line. I'm going to add an aura around just those accent shapes, not around the whole thing, just around the flux and those little orbs. And the orbs, I'm going on the outside and on the inside. I love how this just kind of fills out so nicely with these little extra lines. There it is. The cool thing about this one too is we don't remember where the start was. Oh, look at that. I had it upside down. I love it. Okay, so we have to add our initials and then we're going to do some shading. Ooh, sorry, I kicked it. Okay, so for shading, I'm going to start by putting some graphite in the middle and in those extra little petals as well. Take my blending tool and just pushing that out from the middle. Just makes that center look a little bit deep. Okay, then I'm going to do the left side of each of these. So I'm going to add some graphite to that left side of each petal. I don't have a really good reason for this. Just a way to add some depth, but not necessarily how an artist would shade something with an actual science behind it. Just like adding some dimension and some depth. Okay, so I did all of those. Now I'm going to take my blending tool and I'm just going to soften it with little circles. Pushing that towards the center, but not pushing down very hard, just a nice light softening. Look how pretty those are looking. One thing I like about this tangle is that it looks floral, but it's not actually meant to be a flower of any type. So you can add more layers of these little petals coming out. You could make a whole pile of them. You could add another similar shape, you know, right next to it. There's so many fun things that you could do. Okay, now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to put some graphite on the outside of these petals where these accents come in. So I'm going to do this just where those accents are. And that just pushes that back and behind it a little bit. Same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and do all of mine. It looks as if those petals are going over the top of flux and over the top of those little orbs. And then just softening that so that it doesn't look like a line, it looks like a shadow. Very subtle, but looks amazing.
I don't know that.
There we go. I love it. And now to finish it off, if you want to add some fescue, fescue is these little kind of sprout looking things. I like to add those when I don't have a border, just because it can fill in some of those little empty spaces. And these can be different heights. They can curve. They can go the same direction or different directions. So cute. So go ahead and add a few of those if you'd like. And that's it. It's done. It's beautiful. I love it. I hope you had a good time. And we'll see you next week. Thanks so much for joining. Bye-bye.